The weather this week started off really nice, a little bit foggy Monday morning, went straight into about 3 or 4 days of really nice sunny weather, perfect spring days, nice cool spring breeze, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we got a little bit of some spring showers, so it was a little bit cloudy and dreary trailing out the end of the week. Peace be with you, and welcome to my channel. My name's Trevor, really grateful to have you here, and today's video is just going to be a recap of my weekly rotation from this past week here, about the second week of May, I believe, the 7th right through the 14th, so I believe my rotation started right on the first of the month this week with my videos. So Monday I started off with Green Irish Tweed. Really beautiful fragrance from Creed. I do own a handful of Creed fragrances. Green Irish Tweed is one of the ones that I feel like it's still worth getting over the clones. I haven't smelled any of the vintage 125 ml bottles of Green Irish Tweed, but the current formulation I find is rather high quality. It's Très Nuit from Armaf gives me a little bit of a headache, so do I think that the Green Irish Tweed is currently worth, I think I paid $200 even for it. Hard to say. I feel like I'd be more comfortable paying closer to like the $150 range at discounters for the quality and longevity and everything with it, but really great fragrance nonetheless, iconic, classic, you know, cool water rift off of it. I did not get a compliment with Green Irish Tweed on Monday, but I wore it as my scent of the day today on Tuesday and got 2 compliments from younger people. So it does come off a little bit mature, but it still appeals to the younger crowd, I would say. So that was my Monday. The weather this week started off really nice, a little bit foggy Monday morning, went straight into about 3 or 4 days of really nice sunny weather, perfect spring days, nice cool spring breeze, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we got a little bit of some spring showers, so it was a little bit cloudy and dreary trailing out the end of the week. But like I said, Monday came in a little bit cloudy, foggy at the start of the morning. Green Irish Tweed I thought was a great pick for riding out the waves of kind of more cool, melancholy, foggy, mysterious spring atmospheres, right into that nice sunny, bright, sunshiny weather because of the freshness and the coolness and the minty quality from the lemon verbena in the Green Irish Tweed. Excellent stuff. I would say still worth getting today, even if I think it is a little bit overpriced. So Tuesday I rocked Prada Leau. Somewhat of a recent acquisition. I haven't got a lot of wears out of it. I bought it back during New Year's, I believe. Clearly is much more of like a spring and summer scent though. Does have a little bit of like a more thick, sweet, and powdery quality to it that Prada L'Homme in general has, even though it's the low version. It still is kind of like a thick and dense fragrance, perfectly wearable in high heat. It does have this very nice, cooling, mentholic quality to it, just like a very fresh, clean Prada soapy vibe. So that one, even though it's a little bit dense and sweet, I think it's still fine for high heat weather. I've actually been, how do I want to say this? I feel like Prada Infusion Iris, Prada Infusion de Cedre is another recent Prada acquisition of mine and is currently my favorite sort of clean Prada soapy fragrance. But Prada L'Homme Leau was great. It's got this very nice ginger note in there that gives it a little bit of a sparkly effervescence that you don't get in the regular Prada L'Homme. And I didn't get any compliments on Prada L'Homme Leau this week. I feel like I did get a few head turns from some of the staff. When I would walk by them, I definitely felt like I was getting a little bit of attention with that fragrance. Bringing me to Wednesday. Like I said, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all nice, sunny, perfect spring days. So I went with a nice floral fragrance. That's Fougere Emeraude. Fougere Emeraude, another recent addition to my collection. Really grateful to have that one though. It's definitely in like my top 5 or 10 niche fragrances in my collection. So definitely looking forward to getting some more wears out of that one. Really beautiful wear for me though on Wednesday. Like I said, it's a floral fragrance, and then it opens up with this really powerful, potent tuberose floral, and then it slowly develops into this really nice lavender barbershop fragrance. So it's almost very effeminate in the opening. You just get that huge blast of tuberose, and it's very like it has a textural feel like flower petals. So it's very silky, a little bit powdery, almost fleshy. The way that the flower petals are kind of coming off in the presentation of this fragrance. And then, like I said, it dries down in this really beautiful masculine lavender barbershop. Not really so much like a shaving cream, more somewhat of a Barbasol style lavender shaving cream. But yeah, Fougere Emeraude, very expensive niche fragrance, but one of my favorites, and I think one of the few that I think is worth like a high price tag. So that's Fougere Emeraude. I don't know how to pronounce the house name in French. Leau Indemodables. I'd have to read it, but I think it translates as like the timeless ones. Shooting for scent profiles that are like classic and timeless. And, you know, creative too. This was definitely a niche fragrance in the fullest extent of the term, because it's super high quality and super unique. So that was Wednesday, Fougere Emeraude. Thursday, only compliment I got last week on any of my fragrances, it was Cartier Declaration Soir. Very nice, kind of fresh, almost culinary spice rose. So like the rose in there is just like very watery, almost very fresh and watery and dewy. And then it's got this like concoction of spices that you might expect from something in the Declaration line that give it the slight culinary quality, but the way that it mixes with the rose is just like so elegant, and it's almost savory. I think savory is probably a good word to describe like the way that it, you know, mingles over your scent palette. It's definitely got this like just very it hits on a lot of just notes that just not fragrance notes actually, but it just like hits a lot of cylinders that other fragrances don't quite hit. It scratches a lot of itches that other fragrances don't seem to scratch. It's just got a very unique scent profile, and it does rose impeccably. And like I said, you know, I did get a cold comment or like a compliment from a complete stranger. I walked into a business where I was delivering some food for work, and one of the people standing in that business, you know, did a head turn and looked right at me and was like, "Wow, you smell good." I was like, "Oh, you know, maybe it's the food." They're like, "No, it's definitely that cologne." It was a woman as well. So yeah, Cartier Declaration Soir, definitely one of my favorite grabs this month of May, this spring. So Friday, I usually try to wear a niche fragrance. Friday is my favorite day of the week, and I try to honor it to some degree. So I went with Reflection Man by Amouage. I've heard there's a few reformulations with that fragrance. I know that the older bottles had the name of the fragrance on the neck engraved, and like the newer ones have it printed. So I haven't smelled the newer ones, but I do see the newer ones with the reflection printed on the bottle being recommended by some reputable content creators still to this day. So I think it's probably fine to go ahead and get that one. It might even have gotten better. I've recently gravitated towards this indie perfume called Chypre from Therapia by Aroma. It's kind of what I grab in the same situations I would normally grab Reflection Man. As of late, Reflection Man's just a little bit posh and like upscale and kind of classy, whereas that Chypre fragrance is a little bit more casual and easy to wear, for me anyway. And they have a similar scent profile, not exactly the same. It's not a clone, but yeah, just wore Reflection Man for Friday. It was a little bit gloomy. Like I said, the Friday was when the weather started to turn for me last week. Got a little bit of some drizzle and some rain during the shift, but really beautiful wear nonetheless. Didn't get any compliments, but it was a definite treat to get that kind of powdery floral, buttery iris, a little bit of like earthy patchouli qualities going on. in that fragrance. Excellent stuff. Definitely smells like money. If you could kind of picture how like a bunch of crisp $100 bills laid out smells, it's kind of got that vibe to it, which is why, like I said, I think Chypre by Therapy or by Aroma is a little bit more easy to reach for and casual, less upscale, poshy kind of fragrance for me than Reflection Man. But nonetheless, like I said, great wear, suited me well for Friday. Saturday, what did I wear Saturday? Versace's The Dreamer. Did a full review of that fragrance on Saturday. Was trying out some different filming techniques. Wasn't in front of the camera as much for that one. Don't think I liked that style so much. I've been trying to figure out how to like streamline filming and editing and just try to make things a little bit easier. If you notice, I haven't brought my bottles out with me on the porch today. I'm gonna try to do like some B-roll, and you know, maybe right now you'll be seeing some Versace the Dreamer pop up on the screen here after I go and film again with the bottles. But yeah, Versace the Dreamer for Saturday. Did a full review. Again, kind of that cloudy, foggy, mysterious weather going on outside. I felt like matched the fragrance of the Dreamer really well. Not much else to say on that one. If you want to hear more about the Dreamer, go ahead and check out that full review. And finally, Sunday. Again, kind of a little bit colder Sunday. The weather kind of got a little bit dreary. It was still kind of drizzling, just kind of that foggy atmosphere, gray overcast, that kind of vibe. So I went and I wore Gucci Nobile, really nice kind of green Fougere 80s fragrance. Definitely overpriced these days on eBay. It's been discontinued for a while. I think they discontinued it in like 2010 maybe. If you've smelled Rive Gauche by YSL, it kind of is in the same vein as that. It's, I think, slightly better than Rive Gauche, and that's definitely saying something because Rive Gauche was kind of like a benchmark shaving cream accord fragrance in my repertoire for some time. Nobile kind of adds a little bit more greenery. There's like a balsam fir note in there. It kind of takes the best of Dunhill Edition, if you're familiar with that fragrance, and Rive Gauche, and kind of mixes them together. It's got a little bit more of a mature, old school, vintage vibe to it than either of those, Dunhill Edition or Rive Gauche. But it makes up for it with just this incredible, beautiful, just rough, outdoorsy shaving cream kind of vibe. Very similar to Rive Gauche by YSL, though. It's only I prefer it just ever so slightly. But really, really excellent and beautiful wearing experience on Sunday. I didn't really do much, just kind of hung out around the house, but it was certainly one of those moments where I was just glad to enjoy having fragrances and just, you know, almost like being able to have that experience on hand. Just because smelling fragrances kind of is a little bit of an experience. You can have transportive experiences with them. So that was my weekly rotation here, the second week of May. Let me know what your fragrance rotation was in the comment section down below. Let me know if you've tried or worn any of the fragrances that I did this week, if we were matching up on any of the days here. And I appreciate you as always. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.